Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of my reviews. So in today's video, I'll be reviewing the new Vortex from Hong Kong watch brand Phoibos. Now after churning out dive watch after dive watch for the past few years, Phoibos has unveiled its most serious dive watch to date, the Vortex. So let's see if it's any good. So the Vortex is definitely the best spec'd Phoibos to date. So first and foremost, it uses a flat sapphire crystal. So as aforementioned numerous times in my previous videos, I'm a huge advocate for sapphire crystal due to the inherent scrap resisting properties. Personally, I always look for sapphire crystal in my modern watches as it adds greatly to the durability of the watch. It's also coated with 6 layers of anti-infective coating, so you don't really have to worry about any unwanted reflections. Now, being a dive watch, especially a super compressor, it has a respectable 200 meters of water resistance, which makes it feasible for prolonged submersions in water. So you can take it for a swim for to sea with no issues at all. Still, I would deem it more as a desk diver rather than a true dive watch, and I think the fact that it comes on a leather strap as opposed to like a bracelet or even a silicone strap belies its true nature. Now, the real upgrade, however, lies in the movement. So it's a solid case back, so you can't really see the movement within, but inside, unlike the pedestrian Seiko or Miyota movements of Phoibos' previous watches, inside is a premium Swiss Sellita SW200-1. So for all of you that's unfamiliar with watch movements, the Sellita SW200 is basically an ETA-284 clone with some small improvements, right? So several well-established brands like Oris, Montblanc, even IWC use Sellita SW200 based movements in their watches. So some basic spec, it beats at 4 Hz. So you can see that the seconds hand has a smooth sweep. It has 38 hours of power reserve, 26 joules, and it's basically hacking for quick date function. It states that Phoibos, the brand, states that the watch undergoes accuracy regulation, and in my personal experience, it keeps time relatively well. This can be partially attributed to the implementation of an anti-magnetic shield around the Sellita movement up to 200 amperes per meter, which prevents magnetic interference from affecting the watch timekeeping accuracy. Now, as aforementioned earlier, it also comes on this genuine leather strap, which the brand claims is waterproof, even though I haven't tested it out in water just yet. As a leather strap, I think it's generally alright. Leather grains can be seen and it's soft and comfortable on the wrist. However, it's not a full grain or even a top grain strap, so it won't patina over time. The stitching is clearly done by machine too, instead of being hand stitched. And last but not least, Phoibos watches are known for their strong loom, and the Vortex is no exception. 15 layers of Swiss Superluminova C1 and BGW9 applied on indices. I'll pop out a loom shot here, while solely BGW9 is applied on the hands and bezel markings. As a result, the dial shines bright like a diamond. You will find no trouble reading the watch in the dark. All in all, I would say that the Phoibos Vortex has great specifications. It has a sapphire crystal, respectable 200 meters of water resistance, a Swiss Sellita SW200 movement, and strong Superluminova. The only knock, I think, is the rather average leather strap, although third-party options can easily remedy that. Moving on to the design, even though it doesn't reinvent the wheel, I think the Phoibos Vortex does possess several interesting traits. First and foremost, the most eye-catching aspect of this Vortex is definitely the mint green dial. So green dials are in vogue, but green dials on dive watches are decidedly rarer, especially in this mint green sort of colorway. In fact, the only one that comes to mind is the Trusca Free Diver. It's a refreshing change from the black, grey, navy dials that are commonly found on dive watches, and it immediately seizes one's attention. Adding further colour is the orange second hand, and although it is a tad too short from my opinion, I do like the scrutinized longer hands though. It gives the dial a semblance of depth. Now, being a super compressor, there's additional crown at 2 o'clock which can adjust the internal rotating bezel. So let me just show you guys that. So you pop it out and you can see you can adjust the inner rotating bezel here. So design is gaining popularity, and it should bode well, for the demand of the Vortex, I assume. I also like the embossed nature of the minute track. Let me bring this a bit closer. You can see the minute track is actually embossed. So I like the texture, I like the embossed groove, and together with the sandblasted center portion of the dial, it really adds textural appeal to the Vortex. The bezels also feature potholes, you can see here, which reminds me of old Hublot MDM watches. The diving reference is a bit on the nose, but subtlety has never been Phoibos' strength, so I'll let it slide. I do like the two gorgeous on the case side though, you can see here. It adds texture to the Vortex and makes it live up to its name. The case back is a rather simple affair. with a screwed on case back that's simply engraved, you can see here with the brand's name. It's a tad underwhelming. I would have expected like a simple motif like some of the brand's previous watches. Alright, now I'll put this on the wrist and show you guys how it wears. Take a look at here. I was pleasantly surprised by the wearability of the Vortex. Despite being 43.5mm wide, the Vortex still wears small on my 7-inch wrist as a result of its lugless design. It's a tad thick at 13mm, but that's still well within, I think, the usual ballpark for dive watches. Overall, I'll say that the Vortex is an intriguing design, it's a striking dial color, its depth and texture that makes it stand out from the brand's crowded catalogue of dive watches. Now in conclusion, for me, the Phoibos Vortex ticks every box. It has strong specifications, sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance rating, Swiss Sellita SW200 movement with an anti-magnetic protection, 15 layers of dual Swiss Superluminova, and an arresting design that sets it apart from the myriad of well-specced but plain Jane looking dive watches in the market. At about $539 USD or 700 Singapore dollars after the discount, it is also the more affordable Sellita ETA-powered dive watches available. Alright, so those interested in purchasing a Vortex or any other Phoibos watches can use the promo code Shiok to enjoy 10% off all products from Phoibos web store. After the promo code, the Vortex can be had for only USD $539 or about 700 Singapore dollars, making it a solid value proposition. Okay, and that's it for this review. If you like the video, do give it a thumbs up, do comment down below what you think of the watch, do subscribe to the channel and share the video around. As always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao!